Hey everybody, it's me, Myra, at Down Home Money, a simple approach to financial freedom. I hope you're doing well. It's Tuesday, it's my day, and I am excited to be with you today. So today, I want to share with you what we know is going on in the housing market, but more importantly, when are you going to be able to buy a house? I mean, the problem right now is the low inventory. So we've been dealing with supply and demand, right? When there's low supply, the demand is higher. So we're going into multiple offers. And I just want to share with you some statistics, some things I know. I've been in real estate for over 30 years. And I know a little bit about real estate. In 2020, I owned 3 top performing franchises. So we just know that we're unusual far as what's going on in this country. And I think that's why everybody's perplexed, because normally when we're in a recession, home sales are down. And normally the stock market's struggling a little bit because usually in our economy, it all goes hand in hand. And so that's why everybody's they really don't know. If you want me to be honest, Jerome Powell said, this is from Jerome Powell, the Consumer Price Index, a measure of annual inflation, was measured at 1.4%. He is saying that he won't raise interest rates. He wants inflation to be around, to hover around the 2% mark. That's the target, and unemployment to stay low. Powell says he doesn't expect either of those to happen in the next year. So that's kind of interesting. So that's from Jerome Powell. He spoke this week and the bond market went crazy. And that's kind of what they said. I mean, as soon as he spoke, the stock market started going down. So it's very interesting how all of this goes hand in hand. And for us that are novices in this stuff, you're kind of like, what is causing all of this? Well, it's because there's so much that people don't know. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen in the market. We don't know. And so it's a lot of people trying to predict, and they're looking at history to make their predictions. But look what's happening. We're not tracking with history of the past. So I think that's what's causing so much craziness. Let me tell you a little bit about what Black Knight says about mortgage, because mortgage data is important. And this is January 2021 mortgage data, the data and the analytics. The national mortgage delinquency rate fell 5.9% in January, dropping below 6% of the first time since March of 2020. January's improvement among overall delinquency as well as seriously past due mortgages was nearly identical to the average monthly improvement seen during the recovery to date. While delinquencies continue to improve slowly and steadily, some 2.1 million homeowners remain 90 or more days past due, but not yet in foreclosure. Still 5 times the pre-pandemic. Okay, 5 times. We've got 5 times more mortgages that are delinquent 90 days. Now, here's what's keeping them from foreclosure. We've got a moratorium on certain loans until through June. One ends March 31st, and then there was an extension on others through June 30th. So now that's given them another opportunity to sit in their homes and get caught up, right? And hopefully they will, but we still got unemployment issues. And so there's so much we've just got so much going on that it's hard to really predict what is going to happen, right? When you look at all of that, then you know that there's something going on that we haven't seen before. So 1 in 5 Americans relocated. So let's talk about migration. Part of the reason the housing market is going crazy is because people don't have to stay in their location because of their jobs. So many people are working their jobs from home now. So with that said, they're saying roughly 1 in 5 Americans either have relocated due to pandemic or they know someone who has. So here's what this article says from Fact Tank. It says that overall, around 1 in 5 U.S. adults, 22%, say they either changed their residence due to the pandemic or know someone who did, according to a new Pew Research Center survey. Among those surveyed in early June, 3% say themselves moved permanently or temporarily due to the coronavirus pandemic. And 6% say someone moved in their household because of it. An additional 14% of those who did not personally experience relocation say they know someone who moved. Experiences with coronavirus-related relocations vary by demographic characteristics. The age group most likely to have had at least one of these things happen to them are the nation's youngest adults. Overall, 37% of those ages 18 to 29 say they moved. You guys, that's important to know. I mean, they're moving because of the outbreak or because they can, right? So here's what's happening. I mean, we've got so many moving parts to this housing market. And one is the stimulus. So the stimulus is going to get passed. They're working on it. And you're going to get your $1,400 stimulus check to most Americans, phased out for higher income. And so $20.3 billion in new money is going to rental assistance. So that should help with that. An extension to eviction and foreclosure moratorium and forbearance for federally guaranteed mortgages through September is this is what's on the agenda. A 1-year increase from $2,000 to $3,000 in the child tax credit. Expanded paid sick and family leave through September 30th. $10 billion for housing assistance fund that will allow state housing finance agencies to help homeowners with COVID-19 hardships. $100 million for housing counseling services. $15 billion for new small business grant program. $350 billion in state and local aid, and $130 billion for schools. I got this from NAR and what we look at as realtors and what we want to see get passed. So I thought that was very interesting on what all they're going to spend the money on. If you're in the state of Texas, I want you to know that you have an extension through June 15th. Because of disaster relief on your IRS taxes. So that's just another thing that I think is important to get out there. But if you are in the state of Texas, your deadline to file your taxes for residents and businesses is now June 15th. So because of our really horrible weather and no electricity and no water, a couple weeks ago, they've done that for us. So that's great for the state of Texas. So in case you haven't noticed, mortgage rates have started to creep up a little bit. So the 30-year fixed rate topped 3% for the first time since July. Freddie Mac revealed that could signal an end of a period of record-breaking borrowing cost and refinancing. So that's caused a housing boom. So that too could slow down to where we get more inventory, or at least the market slows down a little bit so you can get in the market and buy that house. So that's what's important. So do I think that the housing market's going to change? Absolutely. I think you're going to get more inventory coming. I think that now we're pushed till June for the moratorium on evictions and foreclosures. So we won't have that foreclosure inventory until later, but you will have some people that go on and put their house on the market because let's just face it, these are the highest prices we've seen. And if you want to get the most bang for your buck and you want to move, now's the time to sell. Now, on the other hand, you're saying, well, where do I go? Well, you might go into a rental and wait it out because we are going to have more inventory. Because people are going to be moving. You're going to see more inventory. Real estate, it depends on what area you are in, where people are migrating to and from. I think it's such an interesting topic on where people are coming from. You keep hearing there's a lot of YouTube channels talking about everybody's leaving California because of their income tax, the state income tax, and just everything's so much more expensive. We're getting a lot of people coming to Texas. We don't have a state income tax. They're seeing a lot of people heading to Vegas out of California. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I just want you to know that there is going to be change. We've been through this many a times in the housing market. We have not had all of these factors at one time, and we've never had the housing market and the stock market doing incredible while there's high rates of unemployment. So it is an interesting time that we live in. But you need to watch it and you just need to do your due diligence. Always remember, your home is your largest investment and most people's wealth is in their home. So just stay tuned. Keep watching these videos. We'll keep you posted on what's going on. I will say this. I'm noticing that a lot more people are giving us calls in our offices about listing in the spring. So I really have, I feel like there are going to be a lot more listings for the spring. And usually that's going to start, you're going to notice them start hitting in April. Because people wait because they want to do it when their kids get out of school. So if they move and change school districts. So that's important to know that. So usually that'll start happening in April. So look for more inventory in April. I really feel like, it's normally every year we get more inventory this time of the year, the spring. But more importantly, I think right now people are hearing about the high prices and I think they're going to be putting their house on the market. So stay tuned. I'll keep you informed. Be sure and subscribe. And remember, financial freedom is for everyone. And buying a home is important for you building equity and securing your wealth. So that's what it's about. And it's not how much money you make. It's how much money you keep and what you do with it. And are you buying assets to throw you off an income? We do videos on dividend investing and on housing and on financial freedom. That's what this channel is about. Give us a thumbs up. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss it. We post a video every Tuesday. We'll see you next week.